Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, a new season here of the OSC Elite Rising Star number 16. It has been months since the 15th edition actually, I say months since it wrapped up. Months since it began. It did wrap up not too long ago. Whew, and we have crowned our champion. We crowned our new OSC Elite Rising Star champion. Of course, Jimmy, I did notice him in the chat, was said Rising Star, and we'll see if he can replicate that success. We'll see if we can see more of the same, or if another star can rise up and take his place. Here we go. Exclamation mark, be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. I'm of course Live VIP with him. I'm joined by these amazing players, by my plushies, and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome one and all. This is a very special tournament. This is a I would say in a way almost an MMR restricted tournament designed to designed to showcase some of the rising talent in StarCraft 2. Instead of your regulars, instead of your, namestays like players like Solar, Björn, Max, Clem, no. This is about who? This is about Hatsu, it's about Mixu, Honmono, Papi, Art, Ziomek, Nickrat, and many others. As you can see here, we have a massive bracket with our rising stars, Papi. Let's go. But only one can rise amongst the rest. As I mentioned, Jumi is going to be the reigning champion of the OSC Elite, number 15, and we'll see if he can do it again. And now this is going to be a massive month-long event. I say month-long, it might even take more than a month. The previous one did. So it's going to take some time to get through the bracket itself here. Players, they do play their matches ahead of time. They submit the replays to our lovely admin, to the owner and organizer of OSC, and we have been provided with the replays. This is day one. This is day one of OSC Elite Rising Star, so again, we got plenty more days, plenty more weeks, plenty more months ahead of us for this tournament. And again, we have quite a lineup of players here. As I mentioned before, we have Hatsu, we have Mixu, Homo versus Papi, Art versus Ziomek, F2 Click versus Art. We have Nickrat in the next round, Shameless in the next round, and Inexorable in the next round. We have Sebestis versus Hydra. We have Sig. Actually, let's see if we can scroll down a little bit. There we go. We have Sig versus Middle VK, Mini Zerg UA versus Moja. We have Baby Marine versus Night Phoenix, and Yudi Soldier versus Demi. And your eyes don't deceive you, because if you look down here, bam, lower bracket. We have it. It's double elimination. This is why the tournament can take quite some time, because we have a double elimination bracket, Papi. Oh my god, look at all those matches. Look at it's a lot of games, it's a lot of matches, it's a lot of StarCraft. So today we have day number 1. Bearing in mind as well, we're going to be casting 10 best of 3s. 10 best of 3s in today's cast. I mentioned and I emphasize the word today because I'm not finishing it here and now. We're going to be cutting the broadcast into 2. This morning we have our morning broadcast of 5 best of 3s. This evening, another 5. That's the plan. That is the go-to. That is how we will approach this. Here we go. So from the very top here, we have our initial series, our initial lineup. Game 1 is going to be Art versus Ziomek. As you can see here, scrolling down, the Art, not to be confused with Art, different Art. But up here, Art versus Ziomek. Winner goes up against the winner of Honmona and Papi. So we are going to be focusing on this portion of the bracket. Let's go. Let us go. That is the plan. And again, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you're all doing a great job. Hashtag Team Papi. Yes, let's go. Yo, I see Chileno in the chat as well. Chileno. Ay. Shout to Pecoeta. Thank you so much, Pecoeta, for subscribing for 8 months. 8 months. That's a lot of months. That's a lot of months of support. We do appreciate it. Likewise, big shout out to Jumi, or to Aistan for being the first quacker, and for gifting a sub to Jumi as well. Thank you so much for all the support as we are jumping into our first series of the day. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be Art versus Ziomek. Game 1 is going to be on Tokamak. Now, bearing in mind, these are all going to be best of 3s, purely best of 3s here, at least so far in the tournament. We will get to the point where we get into some best of 5s and some greater series, but for now, we're jumping into our initial, the first of many PvPs. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Protoss player representing Quasar. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Polish player, the blue Protoss representing, I believe, I almost said I'm against 2 people. As to super people, it is Ziomek. Super People's Esports. That's it. Trying to recall what it was. But yes, we are going to be settling in. And if you're in the chat, true, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our PvP. Hashtag Team Pat. Unfortunately, I don't think we're casting Pappy today, unfortunately. We're casting Art versus Ziomek, Art versus F2 Click, the other Art. We're going to be covering Semestis versus Hydra and a couple of other matches as well. So, not this morning at least, but we'll get to some Pappy. We'll get there. But now 2-gate opener out of Art, likewise 2-gate opener out of Ziomek. Everything looking normal, everything looking standard so far. We've been covering a lot of PvP as of late, I mean as always really on the channel, and we've been seeing a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins. We rarely do get to see a 3-base versus 3-base setup, but what I will say is there's a higher chance of that happening here. Again, welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the larger maps in the map pool, much more defensive as well, and based on the initial openers, based on the scouting, we have no proxy. No proxies from either player, so we can settle into our 2 bases, and we might even settle into a 3rd as well. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. That's the timing. We're going to be settling in. It is going to be Stalker Sentry out of Art. Meanwhile, we have Double Stalker out of Ziomek. Okay, interesting move. With the Double Stalker opener, we're going to have a bit of a more assertive start. That does mean that we can push it across the map and try to apply pressure to the natural base of Art. Meanwhile, Art is being more defensive, more safe. He will have the Sentry for Hallucination for a scout across the map. So a bit of a different approach, more aggressive from one, more defensive from the other. So we've taken up our roles, and we could even follow this up with a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well. As here come the initial 2. Focus on the pylon so that we can expand. Pylon is cancelled. Art does pull away. Rotates back around with his probe. Does rotate back around. Ziomek taking his own natural. Stalkers are fanning out. And Ziomek, he does skip his 3rd and 4th Stalker, going double Sentry as a follow-up. Okay, so he doesn't double down, but he's searching for the probe. He knows that it's somewhere. It is somewhere. We can see it here on the right-hand side. As the hallucination does move out across the map. RT confirms his expansion. Confirms there is a Nexus. Rotates back into the main. And likewise confirms the Twilight Council as well. So just getting an eye on the tech. Just confirming. Oh! Hallucination goes down. Alright, likewise fading out. Ooh, as we're going to be trading 1-to-1 here, but RT does try to catch other sentries. A couple of boys are being pulled. Sentries are going to be saved, at least for now. To save the sentries. And with that, Ziomek, I mean, unfortunately, he has no shield wearing the low ground, but it looks like he should be able to hold on. Ooh, losing another sentry. Art's still just rallying across the map, but here comes the defensive warp in, and Ziomek holds. Ziomek, he holds on. Artie gets the hell out of there, does pull away, throws down a aggressive pylon here to reinforce, warping in 2 adepts at a time. And remember, 2 adepts, they can one-shot workers. They can one-shot, so he can threaten the natural, he can threaten the main, he can threaten those mineral lines. Both players are taking the same direction, but Art is being much more assertive here. Much more assertive with the Stalkers, and now with the adepts. He's in the face. It does threaten a dive. Yep, does shade into the mineral line. Gets 1, 2, barely doesn't get 3. I spoke too soon. 3rd worker goes down. That's an okay trade. It's okay. Ideally, do want a little bit more than that, and yeah, we're gonna just take a bit of a slower approach. We said before that the chances of this going into a longer macro game was a little bit higher here in Tokamak, and here it is. Both players are expanding, both players are claiming their 3rds. Okay, so we're slowing things down, getting to our 3rd bases. We're mackering back. Let's go. We're mackering up. Alright, once again, scatting does confirm the gateway count, does confirm the 3rd base timing. Gets eyes on the robo, should be feeling pretty safe. Art should be feeling secure. Ziomek, he has not seen anywhere near as much. He's working a little bit blind. For all Ziomek knows, there could be a 2-base all-in coming his way. So making a bit of an assumption. Pylon is still out there. But no warpins yet. So Art does move out. Gonna apply some pressure to the third. His army gets spotted. Again, Ziomek doesn't know how committed this is. Back in. Deflected. Here come those adepts. While Art distracts, ideally he does want to slip by and get into the natural. Ziomek is heavily oversaturated. There we go. Does transfer. Here he'll transfer. Art's going to be fully saturating his own third. Shading in. Getting one so far. This one pulls away, loses an adept. For the most part, Ziomek is defending. I mean, I say he's defending, like, this is slowly getting damaged. This is, again, at least keeping Ziomek on the back foot. Art back at home, freely expanding, getting a 4th base, and taking up. Taking up into charge. When it comes to our big difference between the two players, it looks like we do have early immortal production here out of Ziomek, so he does have a couple of immortals mixed in. That is not the case for Art. That may play a factor in the main fight. Charge is finishing up for Ziomek. Art already warping in Zealots. Ziomek just now going for his own gateway explosion. And once the upgrades kick in, I mean, our team start moving out. So the Prism has arrived. Here we go. Prism joins the main army. Temple Archives is complete as well. So he can morph in those Archons. And Ziomek, he just isn't quite ready for this here. Can we get on top of that Immortal? Here come the Archons. Go, 2 Archons morphing in. Likewise, the Immortal looking very exposed. Where are those else? Where are those Warpins? There we go, Ziomek. The gateways are still coming. He needs more time. He needs those gateways. I'm running Zealots. He just collapsed on the army. We get some OK Force Field Stalkers. They blink in. They go for the Archons. They get one. One Archon instantly goes down, and RT will just completely overwhelm. Again, RT had for the most part momentum in this game and just barely did edge it out. GG gets called. RT does take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, both players were for the most part keeping up with each other and being neck and neck, but we saw that, again, Ziomek, his production was too late. His production was a couple of seconds too late, so even though he had a bit of a bank to work with, he had no warpins. He had no warpins available, so he couldn't reinforce his army, and we saw that Art hit, bam, just then, just there. GG. GG, well played. It did overwhelm just before Ziomek could get ready. And again, it was these small side advantages, whether it's Art killing workers, forcing Ziomek to replace them, whether it's Art getting a faster 4th base. True, slightly faster 4th base, faster charge, faster prism, faster move out, slightly faster on most fronts. And here we go, we're now getting into game number 2, and we'll see if we can get all the way to the ace match, or if Art can take it here and now. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have our red Protoss player. Representing Quasar, it is Art. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, down in the series. We'll see if we can bring it back and force the ace match. It is Ziomek. Go. So players are settling in. Last game we had 2 gate openers, no proxies. We saw aggression, but again, it was on 3 bases, really more than anything. But now we're living into Pylon. Pylon is a more aggressive map in the map pool. I do expect our players to be more assertive here. Looks like no proxies though. Waiting for that second gateway. There we go. 2-gate opener out of Hearts and 2-gate opener out of Ziomek. So far, mirrored openers. Probes are moving out. Hello. where are we headed? We see Ziomek, he skirts around the edge of the map instead. Arch is going straight across for the scout. And Ziomek, we'll see what we get done with this. We'll see if we do decide to hide a pylon. So it does move in. There we go. Pylon is going to be hidden. This location would be ideal for a proxy Stargate if Ziomek wanted to commit. Speaking of, Cybercore is still not yet done. Once it does finish, we can throw down our tech of choice. Cybercore's done. Bam! And it is... Oh, I assumed it was going to be a Stargate. My apologies. Proxy Robo. 1 base all in out of Ziomek. Okay. Okay. Let's go. With that Robo, he can go Immortal first, or he can go Prism first. If he goes for the War Prism, he can just go straight into the main. But that's typically coinciding with with an Adept-based opener, just so you can get the Adept in and then just wreak havoc. Here comes Hallucination, defensive Robo out of Art. I mean, remember, Art, he scouted. He sees no pylons, so he knows that there's a proxy. He's looking, he's scouting. Hallucination across the map, a probe on left-hand side. And honestly, this is a really good read. Art, he's gambling a little bit here, but a defensive Robo would be ideal against a proxy, against specifically a proxy Robo instead. Yeah, Art, yet he does scout the pylon, and he does confirm the Robo. He's now aware it's a 1 base all in. And now he can start his own Immortal production. So Art, he already has the setup to deal with this. Yeah, brutal position here for Ziomek. Ziomek is building up his own army. But the longer this goes on, the better it's going to be for Art. He's setting up. Obviously, Art, he's going to have the defender's advantage. He's going to have faster reinforcements. Ziomek going for his Prism. So is Art. Yeah, and Art, he even goes for the Stargate. The Stargate's going to be ideal to get into Phoenixes. Phoenixes, they can shut down the Prism, and they can lift the Immortals. So, given time, Art will get there. Ziomek moving in. Oh. Tries to hit the pylon. He's turned back. Ziomek forced out of the main. Forced out. Warping in more Stalkers. Ziomek looking for another way in. So far, going for the gateway. Prism just goes across the... Oh, this is so risky. But he just goes across. He goes for the Robo. He could go for the pylon, but goes for the Robo instead. Nice force field. Slowing this down. But again, Art, he's exposed. He has no Immortal to defend back at home. He needs a little bit more time. Second Immortal does pop out. Ooh, catching a Stalker. Catching a Stalker. Going for the Immortal. Oh, no! Going to be saved. That's Stalker behind. And Art, he does get here in time. Oof. Punishing the army. Can he deny the warp in? Looks like he barely will. Up! Oh, no, mass! Oh my god. Denies the warp in, depowers the Robo. And the main armies, they do clash. We just see another Immortal going down, and Ziomek is being hunted down here. The Phoenix has arrived. We spoke about it. The Phoenix can just shut down the Prism. Get out of here. The Prism cannot escape. Not like this. Prism goes down. Oh, tried to recall, but to no avail. And there's nothing left. There's, what, 2 sentries and a Stalker. The Robo's depowered. Arch rallying everything across the map. Again, it was a big risk for Arch to go for the Robo, to go for the depower, but he got away with it. Likewise, the Phoenix to Stargate was a salt response. After the initial Robo, of course, does force a cancel, and Ziomek doesn't really have much to work with here. He can force field the ramp, for sure, 100%. He can force field the ramp, he can buy time on one base, but Art's expanding. Art, he just chills, backs off, takes his own natural base. Art, is in a commanding position. Going for the Lich, going for the Phoenixes. Which means no force fields, and he can just focus them down one after the other. Oof. Boys are being pulled. Nice force. He looks down the probes. He cannot escape. GG gets called, and Art, he will take the series 2-0, taking down Ziomek and advancing on into the next round. GG. GG, well played, Art. He will claim the series. He will advance on. Congratulations. Meanwhile, Ziomek, he's still in the tournament, of course. He's going to be knocked down to the lower bracket, but a strong showing here from Art. Ziomek, he took a chance. He took a risk going for the proxy. Unfortunately, Art, even though he didn't initially scout the proxy, his response was to go for a robo. He took it very seriously. Took it very seriously. Of course, for all he knew, it could have been a fake out. It could have been a proxy Stargate instead, but thankfully for Art, it was a proxy robo, so he was able to shut it down, able to scout, confirm, react quite well, get ready with the Stargate, get ready with the Phoenix as the follow. GG. GG, well played. Art will take the initial series of the broadcast, and that is our first of many matches wrapping up. And now we have another PvP. Of course, Pappy, of course. Featuring a very different Art. This is Art, who's on Quasar, but up next we're going to be featuring Art, who's on the Platinum Heroes. This is the Polish Art instead. Let's go. So another PvP, we have Art versus F2 Click, not to be confused with Art.